YouTube, welcome to Acoustic Corner again. Not been here for a while. So I've just had this in for a setup. This is a Yamaha LS-TA, quite new. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's a solid top guitar, I think. And it's a Yamaha, so that's always good, really. Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure the truss rod hadn't moved. I set this up last night. Sorry, unplug that. So yeah, so the guitar itself is it's lovely. I don't know if you can see there. It's got two extra stripes on the back of the neck, which is pretty cool. It's got like wood binding around the edges rather than it being plastic, which I rather like as well. But I mean, I'm a big fan of these Yamaha acoustics anyway. This isn't exactly the same shape as my ones, but this one does have a secret weapon, which I've just actually turned on there by mistake. But as you can hear, so there we go. The super secret weapon is off. I need to learn how to use this button properly. There's actually a light on the inside. The light tells you when it's on. Here, the reverb. Oh, I've done that. That's the chorus is up quite loud. I put the reverb up to massive amounts. Obviously, you don't have to have the reverb up full bung. Turn off the reverb. Remember the opposite. Yeah, off. And then you get chorus as well. I'm just putting these things to full. So it gives you a sort of 12 stringery sort of so obviously you want to put the reverb and the chorus up at maximum, obviously. Yeah, so if you can't hear what's happening there, there's all sorts of fancy stuff going on inside. No, there's no way I'm going to be able to show you on the inside. Perfect timing. Where was I? Yeah, so this has what kind of looks a wee bit like a speaker driver, kind of attached to the back of it, and it runs on batteries. It's got like runs on 2 AA batteries. This is one of the things that I wasn't so keen on. People were complaining that it only lasts 8 to 10 hours. But it kind of depends what else you want to do with the guitar, I suppose. 8 to 10 hours isn't brilliant, I wouldn't have thought. So to run the internal thing, but as you can tell, so this doesn't use, I'm not using any amps or anything like that. It's actually got stuff built into it, and it's kind of, it's a kind of weird sound. I don't know if it'll be picking up. I mean, that's the mic sitting there, so don't seem to be very good at turning it on. You have to hold it on for 2 seconds. And... oh, it's on now. And if you're... my thinking is, I think this might sound really good, see, outside. When you generally take an acoustic outside, all the sound disappears because there's no reverb or sound bouncing off the walls inside the house, so it just kind of disappears, whereas this kind of simulates that, which I think it might sound amazing. See if you were like camping or busking or something, I think it might sound fantastic. Or even playing a wee pub gig, sort of like for folk circles. Just turn it on. These effects do actually come out the amp as well. And you've got it plugged into an amp. Hope the distortion pedal's not on. Just played through that Black Star. I've not yet worked out how you get it so it comes out, because it comes out the guitar as well as the amp up, so you can turn, if you just turn these two down to nothing, it's just a clean signal going into the amp. Add insert. I think that's a really good approximation of a 12-stringer sound, just having the chorus on, without any of the annoying things about having a 12-stringer. I think, see, if you're having an acoustic jam along with your pals or doing an acoustic gig, it seems to have turned off the chorus now. Takes a couple of seconds to come on, that's what it is. But the owner of this has said that he's kind of having problems going back to his other guitars, ones that don't have reverb and chorus on them, which I can, to be honest, sort of understand. It does sound better than not having it on. But it's an amazing acoustic in its own right, because it's a Yamaha. I don't know how this doesn't have a number on it. A transacoustic. The one thing there's a couple I don't really like. You can't even see it here. See the scratch plate. You can't see it because it's really res and bad lighting in here. But it's got like a perspex scratch plate. And when the light hits it at certain angles, it looks like there's a big split in the top of the guitar. I keep seeing it. I've stopped seeing it now, but half a dozen times when I was working on the guitar, I kept seeing it and going, oh, there's a big fucking crack on it. And it's like, it's not. It's just, it's the edge of the scratch plate. I would probably rather have had a black scratch plate, but I mean, once the guitar gets a little bit older, it's really light and springy, and the extra stuff in it doesn't seem to make much difference to the weight or the way it feels. It does. You can see there's, you can't because it's no angle. There's quite a lot of circuit boardery and quite a lot of sort of mechanically looking things. Actually, it looks a wee bit like, what was I talking about? You know, in June, the Thumper. It kind of, that's what it looks like. It's been attached to the back of the guitar. But I think really, I think that this guitar is pretty much brand new. I did shave the bridge down a bit and adjust the truss rod just to get it set up. So I mean, it was playing, but it wasn't bad. I got the action was like at 4.5mm, and now I've got it 1.75. So I brought the action down to make it a bit easier to play. I wouldn't really argue that was that much of a setup issue, because some people like to play slide and stuff, so they like a higher action and acoustic. I've gone for, according to my wee metal string gauge ruler thing, an acoustic should be between 2 and 2.5mm action at the 12th fret, and I've got it at 1.75, so I went for slightly lower than what it's recommended, but the guitar can take it. all I would say this guitar really needs is played. It's a bit new. It feels almost exactly the same as my Yamaha that I bought when I was 18. They've got similar things. It's a slightly different shape, but the neck carve and the tuners and stuff is all just kind of the same. It sounds a little bit more alive though, just because it's had 20 years to dry out and being battered. So this really just needs a good 6 months time. This thing will be playing amazing. It's already playing really good, but I think in 6 months time it'll start to come into its own. I don't know if this has got like solid back and sides and stuff. I should probably have looked it up before I did the video. It's also got you get 3 controls here: reverb, line out volume, and chorus. Reverb. There's 2 different types of reverb. So like from 0 to half is reverb room, and then from half to full is reverb hall, and then chorus. And this is just a wee plastic thing which is going to fall off, just to tell you what it is the 3 knobs do. But it's quite an unobtrusive thing. It definitely has a thing. I can't really explain to you when you're listening to it here, like what it's like actually hearing the sound coming out the sound hole. It's like, yeah, it seems very natural. It's not natural at all. It's got like a subwoofery thing in it that somehow processes. It doesn't make the guitar any louder when you got it on, but it just adds effects on. It comes in at exactly the right volume where you'd want it. And I'm obviously running all of these sounds at full whack. A little bit more subtle reverb and subtle chorus could probably make it. Wish I had this for a few more days. I wouldn't mind taking this over to Show Scott and could have talked about it a bit. But Yamaha did it again. It's just something. Apart from that battery life thing, which I don't know how annoying it is. I mean, it does run on like Walkman batteries, AAs, so probably not that difficult to get a hold of them, but just have them always in your case whenever you're doing a gig. Just change the batteries over, I suppose. Just 8 to 10 hours. I just assumed, looking at it, because it was running on those batteries, I thought, it's like the preamp in your acoustic. It's kind of forever, really. It sort of lasts, doesn't it? Really. Mind you, I don't gig them, but there's certainly months or years that go by when I don't change the preamp things. Then again, I suppose I don't generally, if I'm sitting in the house playing guitar, I'm not really generally using the preamp, am I? Whereas in this, I would be using this echoey thing all the time. It's got really nice zing to it. I need to play a bit more acoustic. I actually took the acoustic into the studio on Sunday, but we never ended up using it. That's why I'm thinking this feels so similar to my one, even though mine's 20 years old in a different shape. The quality level kind of shines through. This is a much fancier one though. I think that the fingerboard's made of something fancy. It's a very matte looking, almost ebony type stuff. And it's definitely a solid top, and I don't think you can really tell by looking at the sides of the back without having to look up the actual model number. But I think these are about £1,000, something like that. But I'd be interested to see how much the actual gubbins cost. Like, you could probably buy this a guitar, maybe not exactly this one, but one very, very, very similar that doesn't have the electric stuff in it. Interested to see what that is. Is it like £100 less or £200 left, or how much you actually paying for this echoey reverby thing? Rocking. So I'm going to give this back now in the studio tonight. Sorry about the bad light, but there's no. I can't think of any way of doing it. And here I've got to sit in this seat, and I've got to have daylight behind me. So I've stuck a fluorescent light there. It's pure burning my retinas out completely. Smashing. You just totally can't see that. It's just too low res to actually even see that scratch plate. You can sort of see it there. Lovely. Smashing guitar. Unfortunately, I've got to give this back right now. Catch you later.